Alright guys, welcome back to another video, and today's video that we're talking about is all the best launch games, my top 10 list to be exact, of the best launch games on the PSVR2. So one of the things I wanted to say real quick here is I keep seeing a lot of people saying that there's not enough good games coming out on the PSVR2 for launch day, and honestly I don't know what people are talking about. There's over 30 games launching on launch day. There is something for everyone. If you're new to the PSVR ecosystem, or you're coming from the PSVR 1 and you haven't had a Quest like I have, or some PC VR headset, so many things are going to be new to you, and there's way a lot of options that you guys are going to be diving into, more than people are giving it credit to, and I'm going to obviously highlight some of these on this list. But even if you're coming from somebody like me who's played PC VR or Quest, there's still a handful of games that are exclusive here on the PSVR 2 that are really exciting, and I'm super excited to get into. And there's even more games announced to be coming over the next month or two in the launch window, even that are exclusive to the PSVR 2. So there's a lot of good stuff to look forward to, and we're just getting started here. So I'm not really sure where this notion is that there's no good PSVR launch day games and stuff like that is coming from. Yes, some of these games have been released on other platforms already, like the Oculus Quest 2 or the PC, but a lot of them are being ported over with new features or new enhancements for the PSVR 2. And most of us who are getting the PSVR 2 might not have had a Quest to be able to play these games before. A lot of people are probably coming from the PSVR 1, and there's going to be a lot of options and a lot of new stuff for those people to enjoy. And I'm really excited to dive into my most anticipated games on the PSVR 2 here. So let's go ahead and get into the video.
Gaming tech, eating brekkie is the gaming tech. Going for a brekkie is the gaming tech. Gaming tech is the gaming tech. Gaming techie.
So the first one here coming in at number 10 is Demio. Demio is one of the games that I did play on the Oculus Quest, and I've had a super fun time with. I've played this with my friends. It's basically a dungeon crawl type of game. If you guys are fans of board games and D&D games and stuff like that, this is that game, and it's really cool because you're in like a dungeon and you're using your characters and you're trying to escape the dungeon, kill all the enemies on screen, and then escape and go level by level. The game has over 5 campaigns already. They're even bringing PvP mode here shortly this year. And there's a lot of good stuff in here already, and I'm excited to see what it looks like on the PSVR 2, because obviously with the OLED displays and something that I haven't experienced on the Quest, there's going to be darker blocks, and dungeons obviously are really black, so I'm excited to see what that looks like, how colorful it looks, and what they do with the graphics, and just how overall it looks like on the PSVR 2. This is fantastic. Demio at number 10. The next one here coming in at number 9 is Pavlov, and this one makes me excited because honestly I have not played Pavlov that often, because I've obviously been a fan more of other games in the FPS genre on the Oculus Quest, but this game is something that people keep talking about, on how good it is and how much fun it is. It's kind of a cross between, you know, Call of Duty and stuff like that if you're into those games, but a little bit more you know, into that direction. And I'm excited to see what they do on the PSVR 2, because they've already said, the developer came out and said that this game has a lot going for it on the PSVR 2, that they're actually making a cross-platform with the PC version, because they can't even do cross-platform on the Quest because it's that much closer to the PC VR version. And I'm excited just in that notion already. And the developer also came out and said that this game looks like it looks better than a 3090 on your PC than it does on the PS5 version. So that's already exciting in and of itself to see exactly how good this game looks and what it does in the PSVR 2 and the cross-platform nature with PC. So I'm excited to dive into this one as a huge FPS person who loves shooting games, and as a person who hasn't really played this game. So Pavlov coming in at number 9. The next one here coming in at number 8 is After the Fall. After the Fall is a game, another one that I had played on the Oculus Quest and other platforms, and I'm excited to see everything this game is touting that they're doing on this game. Again, this is a zombie shooter that's kind of like Left 4 Dead in VR, and they're touting, of course, that they're doing 4K resolution. Obviously, that being a piece of VR with HDR graphics, something that I have not experienced on other platforms because there is no HDR display on the Quest, and obviously this having 4K visuals with a little bit higher resolution, the haptic feedback of the controllers and of the headset when you're shooting zombies, and how all the guns are going to feel different when you're using those adaptive triggers, is really going to add something new to this game. And they're obviously adding 2 new maps into the game. Technically, that's coming for everyone, but I'm excited to see the fidelity of this game, because I have played this game on the Quest, but I think it's going to look so much better and be even even more immersive on the PC VR with all of those features that I just touted. And I'm excited to see how that makes it over. And there's going to be new content to explore for all of us with those new two new levels of Subway and Hospital. It's going to be exciting for all of us to dive back into here. I have not played this game in a short while here, so see what they've done with the updates, see what they're adding with this latest update, and kind of get back into the groove of this game and playing with all the PlayStation VR2 gamers. So excited for this one. Check out After the Fall on the PSVR2. The next one here coming in at number 7 is Zenith: The Last City. So this is for all my open world fans, of course. This is an open world nature, kind of like things like World of Warcraft and stuff. Of course, not to that gigantic scale, but still in that area. And the PSVR2 version is, of course, down in things like higher resolution and using the adaptive triggers and all that stuff that we know about. And I'm excited to see what this game looks like, because I have run it on the Quest, and even though they did a good job porting it over, it obviously is handicapped by that hardware. And I can't wait to see this game, you know, fully decked out with a really powerful, you know, GPU and stuff behind it, and touting all the new PSVR features. They have added a lot since I've actually played this game, because I have not played this game for a short while, and they've added a lot to the game. So it's kind of feel new to me, because they've added a lot of different things, a lot of new classes. They even added, you know, chests that you can do, a lot of cooking stuff. So Zenith: The Last City is definitely something I'm looking forward to. The next one here coming in at number 6 is Zombieland Headshot Fever Reloaded. Now, this trailer you guys are watching on here is actually not what this game is going to look like, because unfortunately they have not released a trailer, even though this is launching on release day. This is the original game that they came out with, and the PSVR2 version is touting a lot of different changes on this game. I love the game on the Quest when this one came out, and this one's basically going to be a brand new game, more than any other game on this that came before this on this list, because they're actually doing cel-shaded graphics now, and the cel-shaded graphics, the screenshots that they shared, look fantastic, that they shared on Twitter, and I can't wait to see these graphics in person. They're of course doing all the adaptive trigger stuff, using all the PSVR2 features, and they're adding new levels and stuff. So the game's going to be completely brand new on the PSVR2 version, and I can't wait for it. Again, Zombieland Headshot Fever Reloaded, a brand new addition to the game, and I'm super excited for it. The next one on this list coming in at number 5 is Kayak VR Mirage. So this is a game that has not existed on the Quest or anything like that. It does exist on Steam VR, though, on PC. And the people who have already played this have already said that this looks basically exactly like their 3080s and 3090s on PC on the PSVR2, and that's super exciting to hear. This game is obviously a showpiece for what the PSVR2 can do visually, and I'm excited for that. It's obviously a kayaking game where you're going on adventures and stuff like that, and they're using all the PSVR2 features. They even added a new feature where you kind of don't even have to kayak, and you can kind of just go on a leisurely stroll, and the game just kind of kayaks for you, so you can take in the visuals and stuff and explore. And I can't wait to see this game on PSVR2. I have seen this game on PC, and I can't wait to see how the porting job happens. I can't wait to see, you know, all these different levels in VR, especially in the OLED display on when it's nighttime and stuff like that, or it's really going to take advantage of that display. Obviously, I've never played it on an OLED before on PC or anything like that, so that's going to be super exciting to see what this game looks like on PSVR2 with those new visuals. And the game is a lot of fun. It's obviously kayaking. It does have racing that you can compete you know, with your friends online, and you know, all these different environments and stuff, and they're gonna have, you know, a lot of different features coming down for this in this game in the future, and I can't wait to check this game out on PSVR2. It's one of my most anticipated, of course, on the platform. So Kayak VR Mirage coming in at number 5. The next one here coming in at number 4 is Star Wars Tales from Galaxy's Edge, the Enhanced Edition. So as the title suggests, this game obviously was on other platforms like the Quest, and it is the Enhanced Edition. It's never been made on PC or anything, so I'm excited to see this game being enhanced, because it's going to have all the enhancements that you want out of the PSVR2, including the haptics, the headset, the adaptive triggers. All that stuff is coming on here, but also 4K visuals in this game. And I've never actually played the game with the DLC. I've never finished the game completely, and the DLC is the best part of this game, and it does come in this Enhanced Edition. Everything is bundled up together, so I'm excited to kind of replay this game, go through the original story, and then go ahead and play through the DLC, which I heard is the better portion of the game anyway, with that they further released. And I can't wait to explore this game again, because the Enhanced Edition is already being touted to be a much better version than the original. Due to the HDR visuals and the 4K visuals, everything is apparently looking really good for this game. And the game was already a lot of fun. If you're a Star Wars fan, this is definitely a game I recommend. And obviously, it being number 4 on my list, I can't wait to see what this game stands out with on the PSVR2. And there's already reviews out there saying how good it looks and how much better it looks than the Quest version. So that makes me super excited to kind of get enthralled, because I'm a huge Star Wars fan, as probably a lot of us are. So this is definitely on my list to try immediately when I get the PSVR2. So Star Wars: The Galaxy's Edge Enhanced Edition coming in at number 4. The next one here coming in at number 3 is Gran Turismo 7. So this is a game that honestly, I'm not really the biggest sim racing fan. I usually tend to lean towards more arcadey racing games like Forza Horizon or Need for Speed and stuff like that. But as a person who loves VR, I am super excited to see a full-on racing game in VR, because Gran Turismo is not just making this like a little small port where they're just adding a few racetracks or anything like that. It's the whole entire game in VR. So that in itself is really, really exciting. All the different tracks in this game, all the cars, seeing it in VR. Some people have gone hands-on with this and said it looks just as good, or it looks just as good as you would expect it to look, even playing it in 2D. So I can't wait to see a racing game kind of brought out into VR. Obviously, this game being exclusive and having the full-on racing game in there is really, really exciting. I'm even thinking about getting a wheel and playing it with a wheel to kind of get that immersion into the next level. But this game, even as a fan, as a person who doesn't usually play sim racing, really makes me excited to see the visuals of this game, because people are touting how really it looks that good in VR and on PlayStation VR 2. So that makes me super excited for this game. I hope it makes you guys excited as well, that we're getting a full-on port of the whole entire game into VR. So check this one out, guys. Gran Turismo 7 coming in at number 3. The next one here coming in at number 2 is Resident Evil Village VR. So of course this is also exclusive to the PlayStation, and we've all played the Resident Evil Village, but they're adding a full-on free update to the game where you can actually play the whole game in VR. And that's fantastic, because we all know how great Resident Evil 7 was in VR on the original PSVR, and now we're getting, Resident Evil Village, which is a sequel to it, in VR for the PlayStation VR 2, with a lot better graphics, of course, because the original was on the PlayStation VR on the PS4. And I can't wait for this game. I'm a huge person who loves horror games in VR. Getting a game like this in this graphic fidelity and using all the PlayStation VR features, as you guys are looking at here. This is the trailer that they released here recently, and the visuals look fantastic. And I can't wait to see this game in VR for the first time. It's going to really make, thrills and stuff like that in VR, and people who love horror games be even more scared of VR games like I am. And I'm going to be screaming in this game the whole entire time, and I'm super excited to check this one out. Resident Evil Village coming in at number 2. And the number 1 game that I'm looking forward to on the PlayStation VR 2's launch date is Horizon Call of Mountain. Probably not a surprise to anybody here. But of course, I love Horizon. I love the 2D flat games that I've played of Horizon. And seeing this game, seeing these machines and stuff like that in kind of their full glory in VR, and seeing the scale of them makes me excited. Obviously, reviews have come out for this game already, and they look pretty good. And I'm excited. And they're saying that the graphics are kind of out of this world. So that makes me really excited. Even though 70% of the game is climbing, I love climbing in VR, and seeing a landscape like this, and the combat looks really fun. People have said the combat is really fun, so it makes me really excited for this game. It's definitely going to be the one of the games that I first boot up in VR, obviously it being my most anticipated game. Of seeing a full-out 7-hour campaign game into VR under one of the Sony properties that we all know and love from the 2D space. And I hope we see more games like this. Bring me some God of War, bring me some Spider-Man into VR with this kind of nature into it, and when this kind of graphic fidelity makes me super excited for the future of PSVR 2. So guys, that's it. That is my top 10 games that are releasing on launch day for the PSVR 2 that have me excited. There's more games coming out for the PSVR 2 in the launch window that are coming out later. This is just games that are releasing on day 1. We have things like Switchback VR, as a horror fan, that I'm really excited about, coming later on in March. So there's going to be a lot of good stuff to look forward to over the next month or two and beyond, that are just not releasing on launch day itself, but there's still a lot of good exclusives coming on here that I'm really, really excited about. So guys, stay tuned on this channel. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss anything about the PlayStation VR 2 when I release new videos. And if you guys have any questions, as always, leave it down below. If not, thank you guys for watching. Till next time.